Hello, crafty friends! It's Alicia here with a project for Tailored Expressions. In today's video, I'll be showing you 4 different ways to use and apply the baby wipe stamping technique. Featured on today's cards are the new Forest Finds and In Loving Memory stamp sets. I will be die cutting with the Arch Stacklets and Petite Scalloped Arch Stacklets die sets and adding some extra texture with the brick embossing folder. For cardstocks, I will be using blue corn, poblano pepper, and sugar cube, and for inks, I will be using blue corn and poblano pepper. For the baby wipe stamping technique, I got out ink refills in Spearmint, Poblano pepper, blue cheese, and blue corn, and my wipes are just from my local warehouse store. To help with stamping, I will be using the exclusive TE Teal Misty and Just Press tool and using a variety of adhesives to hold everything together. For a little added shine, I also got out some silver matte enamel dots. Let's get crafty! I will be using the middle leafy branch from the Forest Find stamp set to stamp the backgrounds today, and I just got out a block from my stash that fit that stamp. I decided for today's cards that I wanted to use blue and green, so I got out a light and a dark in each color. For green, I chose spearmint and poblano pepper, and for blue, I chose blue cheese and blue corn. Now I'm going to grab a baby wipe from the package and I'm going to fold this down a little bit. For one of the folds, I use the one that was already in the wipe, and then the next one I adjust so that it will be at least the same height as the stamp I'll be using. Since I will be showing you a few different ways to apply the ink, I'm not going to fold this down any further. I'm calling the first way stripes of color, and for this one you're just going to put down little blocks of refiller right next to each other. I went blue cheese, blue corn, spearmint, and poblano pepper from top to bottom, and you'll just want to make sure that the area is wide enough and tall enough once again for your stamp to be inked up completely. This is going to be a technique where you'll want to work on a non-porous surface. For me, I'm using my magnetic glass board. You could always put your baby wipe on a sheet of acetate or some other type of glass board. Now you'll also probably want to make sure that you put your baby wipe where you're going to end up using it as your ink pad, because you'll see here that mine made a pretty big mess that I had to clean up. For each of my cards today, I will be using a piece of sugar cube that is 5.5 by 4.25 inches, and I like to put a piece of typing paper or recycle paper underneath it to catch any stray ink. When you're using this technique, you'll want to pay attention to the orientation that you first ink up your stamp. For me, I will have the stem toward the bottom. Once you have that figured out, you'll just tap, tap, tap right where the ink is on the baby wipe and then take it over to your piece of cardstock. Now, since you do only have one go at this, I do usually like to hold it in place for just a little bit before I pull my stamp back up. And then to fill in the rest of that piece of cardstock, I'm going to turn my stamp at different angles, but before I go back and ink it up, on the baby wipe, I always want to make sure that my stem is toward the bottom. I finished filling in that piece of cardstock with the branch, and when I got to the end where it was mostly full with the images, I did go in and at the corners and sides just added little pieces just to keep that pattern going and bleeding off all edges of the cardstock. Before moving on to technique number 2, I did make sure to clean and dry my stamp completely. Now for this second one, all you're going to do is flip your baby wipe over, and I am calling this one Stripes of Color Backside. This technique kind of came about by accident. When I was doing some test pieces for today's video, I noticed that when I flipped the baby wipe over, the ink or the refill had seeped through and there was lots of color to be used. So I just kind of tested it for fun, and I will tell you I love how it turned out. You're getting that same kind of look, but it's just a little bit more muted. I use the same technique on this piece to fill it in, and I did kind of use that first piece that I stamped to know the pattern for each additional one. I am calling technique number 3 dots and squiggles. For this, I'm going to start out with the lighter of each of the colors. So for green, it's spearmint, and I put kind of 3 big dots onto the baby wipe. And for blue, I did this with blue cheese. Once those dots were down, I took in the darker of each shade and made kind of some squiggles around each of those circles, just to fill in an area that once again would be larger than the stamp I'll be using. Now I did have to go back in with the spearmint to make sure there was not a lot of white space, and then I used this and the same technique to fill in another piece of sugar cube cardstock. I know I mentioned it before, but with this technique, when you're stamping with an acrylic block, you do really only have one chance each time. Now, you are definitely going to wind up with little errors. If you look at this one, you'll notice that I got a little too much ink on my stamp and I have that weird splot down to the right. But guys, do not worry. You just want to keep stamping and filling in that piece of cardstock. Later, once my pieces were dry, I did use a sand eraser and try to erase some of that ink, but later you will see on the finished cards that you could not even see this. Most of the spots were covered up by either some texture or by a sentiment. I have dubbed the fourth and final technique today blocks and dots. For this one, you're going to use the lightest of each shade and do a block that is about half as high as the stamp. So at the top I did spearmint and on the bottom I did blue cheese. Once both of those were down, I then went in with a darker shade of each color. So on the spearmint I put some dots of Poblano pepper, and down on the blue cheese I put some dots of blue corn. I thought this gave it kind of a tie-dye effect. This is going to be a technique with endless possibilities. You can use different color palettes. You can apply your re-inker in lots of different ways. Let us know down in the comment section below either which of my techniques you might try or if you're going to make up your own. These baby wipes will stay juicy for a while, so you could definitely mass produce even further than I did today. And I think next time what I'll try is I will put my baby wipe on a piece of acetate and slip that inside of a baggie, seal it up really good, and see if it will last maybe a few days. Here's a look at all of the panels once they had time to dry. Leave a comment below with which one turned out to be your favorite. The sentiments that I chose for today's cards are with heartfelt sympathy and holding you in my heart from the In Loving Memory stamp set. I'm going to be using a scrap of sugar cube cardstock, and I set up those two stamps over toward the right. I'm going to ink the top one with blue corn and the bottom one with poblano pepper just to have a little variation. And once that first round is inked up and stamped, I rotated the piece of sugar cube cardstock and did the same thing over on the right side. This is an easy way to mass produce sentiments. Once those were all done, I brought in the Arch Stacklets die set, and using the third from the smallest, I cut each of these out off camera. While I was off camera cutting those, I used the third from smallest Petite Scallop Arch Stacklet die and cut 4 mats, 2 from blue corn and 2 from poblano pepper. I use liquid glue to adhere each of the sentiments to their scalloped mat. This gives me some wiggle time to get everything nice and centered on there. And to help them dry, I did set them underneath some magnets while I continued adhering the other pieces together. Once those had time to dry, I brought in a pair of scissors and I cut off the scallop border on the right edge of each of the sentiments. Because the background did have the image rotated in different ways, you can choose for your final card where you want the sentiment to go and what you want that orientation to be. This is a great time that if you did make any oopsies, you can make sure to cover it up with that sentiment. At this point, I decided that I wanted the background or the stamped piece to have a little bit of texture. So I brought in the brick embossing folder, and the great thing about this size is you can orient your card panel either way. For this one, I did decide on a portrait orientation, and you'll see here just a nice subtle texture that gives the background. And now you have that slight difference between the sugar cube sentiment and the sugar cube cardstock on that panel. For this card, I'm using a top fold blue corn card base, and I'm going to add the emboss panel with liquid glue. Not only does this give me some wiggle time, but because of the texture on there, I can add some extra of this and make sure it adheres nicely. And speaking of adhering nicely, I did put this under a couple magnets as well. And while that's drying, I brought in a piece of sugar cube cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And this is going to be for the personal message on the inside, since you really couldn't write on such a dark card base. Now, I always like to add a little extra color or decoration, so for this I'm going to bring in a blue blender brush and the blue corn ink and just put a little bit along the bottom edge of that piece. Then I'm going to add the glue and get that centered on the inside. To add some dimension to the card front, I added some foam tape to the back of the sentiment, but before I place this onto the card, I did add a little barrier of liquid glue so I have time to get that nice and aligned with the right edge of the stamped and embossed piece. Now you'll see why I cut off that right scalloped edge. To finish the cards off, I wanted to add some shine, but not really any sparkle. So I brought in the silver matte enamel dots and added a few around each of the sentiment pieces. I finished the rest of the cards off camera, and here are some close-up looks at the set. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today's video. If you enjoyed the process, a thumbs up is appreciated. And if you're not already a subscriber, we do hope you'll click on the button below so you're the first to know about our latest videos. To find out more about the products I used today, you can check out the links in the description box below or visit the Tailored Expressions online store at tailoredexpressions.com.